What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the More Life Frequency podcast. If you're looking to infuse your events with an epic party vibe, or you're getting started in the entertainment industry, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Isaac, and after a decade of rocking dance floors from Australia to Greece, I'm here to share the stories and strategies I've learned throughout my journey in the entertainment business. Welcome everyone to another episode of the More Life Frequency podcast. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Quick fire questions to my business partner and brother, Dan. How are we?
How you doing?
So Dan has over a decade of DJ experience overseas, locally, weddings, clubs, and everything in between. And I do too. And I thought, let's do an episode on some cringe-worthy questions that no wedding DJ wants to be asked. And without any further ado, I reckon let's get straight into it.
Fire away.
Let's do it. So, question one. How much does it cost, Daniel, to book you as a wedding DJ?
How long is a piece of string? Well, it all depends. Like, for example, when you get that question, they're like, how much can I book you for? It's like, okay, where is it? How long? What equipment do you want to have at your wedding? Is it going to be basic? Is it going to be medium tier? Is it going to be high tier? And most people that inquire have no idea what that means. So you kind of have to walk them through and explain what equipment is what and like what kind of level that they're after. But mostly the biggest question you ask them first is, you know, how can I help you? Congrats. And then be like, okay, what's your budget? Because then if they're like, oh, I have $1,000, then you're like, I can't help you here at the moment, but maybe some other, events company can, because we're more on the higher end. But just managing expectations with that. Obviously, where is it located? How long for? And what does your vision look like in your head in order to get that into reality?
Yeah, and what would you say is a more low-end event that you've done, and on the other scale, a more high-end?
A lower, not really lower end. It's more like how many people. So usually the most smallest either a wedding or event is like 50, 60 people, and then you can go to 150, then 200 or 300. So it all depends on, obviously, the more people, the more equipment you need. You need more lighting, you need more speakers. Obviously, it's going to cost you less if there's only 50 people and you only need 2 speakers, decks, and some basic lighting.
Depending where the gig is.
Depending on where it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, pretty much.
And what about on the higher end? What do people tend to ask for on the higher end of
sometimes
bigger events?
Collabs, like, for example, with a DJ and a sax, and then maybe a singer, and then their budget is obviously much higher. And like I say as well, with most events is if their budget is lower on the lower end, and you're spending 50 to 60K on a wedding and your budget's only like $2,000 for entertainment. Imagine if the $2,000 entertainment is terrible. The $50,000 is going to be a waste. Why not spend a bit more, and then everything, you get what you pay for.
100%. I was at an engagement party, and they didn't spend as much on the entertainment. They went all out with all the setup. The location was amazing.
Are you going to name drop them and roast them?
No. But like, it's such a shame because so much effort goes into the event, and then the entertainment, it'd be just, really basic, or it's a bit of a letdown for all the guests, to be honest. And you want your events, like engagements, like weddings, to be memorable.
Well, even if the venue is average and the food is average, but the entertainment is really good and you've got some booze that everyone can have, people are going to have an amazing time.
100%.
Or even if some people that are sober, that are rocking the dance floor and enjoying life sober, it doesn't really matter. If you're dancing and still having a good time and everyone's smiling, what's the point of having a, $10,000 dress and all you're doing is just sitting there and just...
Yeah. No, you're too right. Exactly
not
right.
Vibing.
Are you ready for question number 2? I love this one personally.
No, this podcast is finished.
So question 2. Isn't DJing just pressing a button? How hard can it be, and why is it so expensive?
Correct. just like every other tradesman. It's just they just go cut a piece of wood, put some glue together,
And you got a house.
and you got a house. That's how it was, exactly what DJing is like. It's a craft. It's experience over time. I was actually watching a Diplo interview, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be DJing when I'm 40. That's old." But like when now he's around that age or a bit more. It's the experience of doing different kinds of events. It's the crate and your catalog of music on your computer or on your USB when you perform, and that knowledge of being able to make people dance from ages of 18 all the way up to 45, 50, knowing what to play, when to play, when, what time, reading the crowd, and that's just all just from reps and skill. So it is not just pressing play. I'm sure you can hire a DJ for $50 on Facebook Marketplace that can play top 40 and just crossfade and train wreck tracks, which is, if that's what you want, go for it. But, you know, if you want something properly done, yeah.
No, 100%. And how do you think your experience comes into play where you've played to a room of 30 people versus 3,000 people?
Obviously, yeah, it depends on the energy. Like, for example, like you mentioned with the 3,000 people, that was all pretty much, mostly were Scandinavian from Norway, Eastern European and European, Greek and stuff like that. So they're all on the younger crowd, and they just wanted, like, you know, back in that time, it was just like big room EDM bangers and everyone was vibing and blah, 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 and you could bring the energy. And then obviously with a more of an intimate crowd, I'm playing some of the more modern style of music now, which is like disco house, funky house, Afro house. So just to diversify, and you know what to play, what crowd is going to respond. So with a smaller crowd, obviously, you know, reading a room, you're not going to be playing hardstyle bangers and all that stuff, but
Depending on the event.
But like
and the time. Yeah.
For example, the event that we did on Sunday when we were playing at Ridges started off with like disco, funky house. There was like 40 to 50 people. But then towards the end of the night, I was playing techno and everyone was just vibing, enjoying it. But you got to build your way up to that. You can't just, you know.
Yeah, and that all comes with experience as well.
Yeah.
And I think experience, like from playing to people from different cultures as well, is, yeah, you know, it's obviously very high value. Different ages, different cultures, different countries.
Yep.
And, you know, you can't sort of put a price on that.
No.
I don't think so.
But it's more with the client is the perception of, I don't know. So if they see you perform, sometimes you can easily get a client that's seen you perform, but like, I want that, because they know what it is already.
Yeah.
So the perception of, I've already tried this, I've tasted this, I like this, what's the price? I don't care. Rather than, you know, when you try and communicate that over the phone or via email, and even we try with social media and stuff to be like, this is what you're going to get.
Through videos and things.
Videos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. Question number 3. Can you just DJ my Spotify playlist at my wedding, Daniel?
Incorrect. Please go away. We get asked that a fair bit, and what I like to say is, think of it like you're in a Michelin star restaurant. They ask you, like, you know, what do you like? This is the menu, blah, blah, blah. You pick, and then you let the chef do his thing, bring it out, you taste it, and you're like, holy shit, this is really good. So yeah, you can hire DJs to play your full Spotify playlist, but like, are you a DJ though? Do you know how to make the crowd, you know, dance and play certain things? It's like with your Spotify playlist, it might build energy slowly, but people might not be even dancing on the dance floor, or the vibe must be totally different. Like the Spotify playlist doesn't analyze the dance floor or the people's energy.
Yeah, 100%.
Or people's perception of what time it is, or, you know. While with a DJ, you can pull it back and be like, oh, no, this is...
Yeah.
They're not ready for this just yet. Or else amp it up and be like, oh, they're already keen. Bang, 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 bang. Like with Hen's Party, it was literally like 0 to 150 in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
With energy.
I remember. Yeah.
It's just like bang, they want to go straight away. Like if you have a Spotify playlist, then it's not going to do that.
No, and it's not going to take that into account. You remember we were guests at a party recently, and there was a Spotify playlist going on, and it's just so choppy. It's just like one moment it's a chill song, the next moment it's a banger, the next moment it's chill again.
And then you're asking, and then there's too many chefs in the kitchen where everyone's trying to control the music, and then
they
everyone's
try to
trying
join the jam.
Yeah, join. Anyway, yeah, they were trying to. It's like, imagine, with a chef being like, "Oh, what do you want for dinner? Oh, what do you want for dinner?" No, the chef knows what he's doing. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook. Just be like, "What do you like?" If a client comes to you and goes, "I really hate rap music," or "I really love R&B," and then you can be like, "Okay, cool." I remember we were at one wedding celebration. And we're playing house music, everyone was dancing, yada, yada, yada. And then it was getting towards the end of the night. I think it was like an hour left. And the bride goes, "Can you play some white girl R&B music?" That's all she said. I nodded my head and said, "Done." Then knew exactly what to play. And then everyone was vibing. She said, "Thank you so much." Yada, yada, yada. But like, a playlist can't do that. White girl R&B music. Good luck searching, finding the songs, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, 100%. And on a different note as well, like a lot of the places we play our gigs to, the Wi-Fi and the reception is horrendous. So
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
you're going to be going on your Spotify playlist and it's going to be buffering or loading, or it's just,
It's not
do you
a
really
vibe.
want that? No, not a vibe at all.
Don't cheap out. Don't
Correct.
be cheap.
Correct.
Don't be cheap.
Now,
All you cheap people listening,
no.
we don't like you.
So, question number 4. Can you move your 50 kilos worth of gear up 3 flights of stairs between the ceremony and the reception in 5 minutes for free?
No. Or just managing expectations. If it's like, if the ceremony or one part of the party or event is in one location, they want to move it to the other location. It's like, well, it takes me an hour to wire up, and then I have to tape everything down, sound check, test the mics, check for feedback, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. With that, manage expectations. You can always just grab a speaker, a portable one, and put it in the ceremony, and then go to your normal setup where you're going to do the reception. And I think, I've been in one event where it's just like, "Oh, you have to move from there to there," and I've already set up. And I had a bit of time left, so I was at least able to just grab the table and move it slightly, which wasn't too bad. But what pet hate for DJs as well is moving their gear once it's set up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once it's completely set up, they're like, "Oh, can you move over there?" It's like, especially if the party's going to start in 5 minutes, it's like, no. That's where we chose best to set up. And just trust the process and just trust that it's going to work. But yeah, just managing expectations with that. But if you ask with 5 minutes left, then don't be shy, DJs, to be like, "No, it's not possible."
Yeah, exactly. But if they let us know in advance and they explain the situation, you know what I mean?
Managing expectations.
And even, sometimes a ceremony is in an open air spot. So just having like a wet weather plan for that as well. That's why sometimes you can't do this stuff off the cuff, right?
Yeah, for sure. Or speaking of, another event that we're having this Sunday is it's going to be on a golf course and there's no power. And obviously speaking to the client, yada, 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 and being like, okay, she hired someone else previously and they didn't have enough sound.
Not loud enough.
It wasn't loud enough. And she wanted these white, elegant speakers. And I said, they look amazing. They're super nice. They're about $2,500. But they are not loud enough. And then I said, okay, no worries. I have these absolute powerhouse of speakers, the MSR 400s or the DBR 12s.
Yeah.
Super good, great Yamaha speakers. Anyway, I said, yeah, no worries. I can organize a generator, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, the generator came to around $500. And then she's like, and the client was like, "Oh, why is it so expensive?" It's like, well, they need to power the speakers. It's like, things cost money. You can't just expect that, especially with managing expectations with like, the $50 DJ or like you're wanting this. Things cost money.
Yeah, exactly. The $50 DJ would rock up and be like, "Oh, I didn't know it was in the middle of a golf course. I don't have power."
Or bring a laptop and these radio speakers.
Yeah, exactly right.
And even the gear, for example, the gear that I'm bringing as well is around $10,000. So if it starts raining, that we have to have a wet weather thing. But like, the equipment that you're bringing as well is substantial.
Yeah, so what you're paying for as well is for someone to think through your event plan with you, to really
The whole
iron out.
process A to Z.
Exactly, and your experience sort of comes in there because you've thought about every single aspect of basically what could go wrong, and you've addressed that. So you put on a great performance and a great event for the client too. Moving on to question 5.
Great.
Yes. We have a strict $500 budget, Daniel, for 8 hours, but we want a full festival light show and a sax player. Can you make it work?
Aldi is that way.
Come on, bro.
No. And I find, first with the sax thing, I reckon you can find people who are starting out that are sax players that might charge like $400 for a few hours and blah, blah, blah. But remember that these guys are not professionals. This is not their full-time gig. They're hobbyists. And if you want to have a hobbyist at your event or wedding, yeah, sure, go for it. But if you want a professional, they usually get booked out for the whole night, which is usually around $1.5K for 4 to 5 hours for the night.
And that's if it's local.
And that's if it's local, then obviously expenses on top. But to go with the first part is, okay, they have $500. Just really manage expectations. And be like, to break it down to them and not being rude, it's like each speaker costs around $1.5K. The decks costs around $3.5 to $4K. The laptop costs around $5K. You're already up to $10K. You haven't added the lights, or if you want a sub, or if you want a sax player, and you get the person's time, and you get the person's library. Like, you get a lot of value, but it's hard to communicate that to a client where they're like, oh, I want all of this for $500. It's like, it's not achievable.
Yeah, 100%. And then I think there's a bit of a gap as well between hiring a solo DJ for $500, like for an event, or for, God forbid, for a wedding, because Jesus, that's like super cheap.
I remember when we were younger, when we used to, like, our first gig was $50 when we were 16.
Yeah, that was my, very, very, very first.
I'm saying 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So you can hire someone for your 21st or whatever for $500, but are you getting a professional? Probably not.
No.
And whether you want to get that professional.
Exactly. And I think it depends how high stakes the event is. Like if it's your wedding, you don't want your mate who's just started DJing playing that, because it's way too high
even
stakes.
photography. Imagine you spend $70K and then your photographer is like your uncle, and then the photos are crap. What are you going to do? Redo the wedding for the photos?
Yeah, true. And I was speaking about that with Jake actually as well, who is our videographer, photographer. Just what he said in the very beginning of the episode was, he said, I have to explain to clients what it is I do.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like it's the same with DJs as well.
Yeah.
Like, but you get what you pay for at the end of the day. Correct. I think,
Correct.
So,
because even like if you send an invoice, they're like, oh, I want a DJ, I want a sax player, I want a lot of speakers, I want lights, it's going to be in the Hunter Valley, and also I want a singer. And then you quote them like, a substantial amount, and then they're like, oh, why is it so expensive? It's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, and you have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say before is there's also a difference between hiring like a cheap DJ who's a soloist who, if he gets sick, if something happens, like the DJing doesn't go ahead. Whereas with an agency like ourselves and with people with more experience, they usually have a network, or I know we do,
a team
of DJs, even a team of sax players. So like you're not gonna rely on that one person. Again, it's about having backups of backups of equipment, backups of the people DJing as well, and having that high tier talent.
Yeah. And
for that, there's a price tag attached.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%. You got to pay your insurance, don't you? Question number 6. Do we have to feed you?
Just bird seeds. Just that.
That's substantial, eh? Is there a bit of protein in bird seeds?
So with events, I have never been asked that question, do we have to feed you? But most common courtesy and industry standard is, if they're doing your event, like a photographer, videographer, your DJ, you usually feed them dinner or if it's a day party, lunch, just some food, because they're going to be there 2 hours before or 3 hours before, like setting up, bringing the gear in, yada, yada, yada. They get changed and da, da, da. And at the end of the day, you want them to have energy. So it's better if you fuel them up, give them some food. Who cares? You pay them an extra head. And at the end of the day, if they're tired, they're not going to do a good job. So.
Yeah, 100%. From our experience, it's been really good though.
Yeah, everyone usually, like they usually bring out the food before we even ask or specify.
Yeah. Very lucky, very hospitable.
Yeah. But that's just the clients that we kind of get because we are on the higher end. They have that,
Yeah, for sure. So, here we go. I'm a guest at a wedding, Daniel. And I say, I'm not sure if you take requests, but can you play the chicken dance? Because my drunk uncle asked. Is that okay?
That's not, I wouldn't even say a hard no. I would just look at them and just go, and then just look away. Done that so many times. You just go, and just keep going.
Only when they ask for the chicken dance, though.
I wasn't even chicken. Yeah, whatever song it is, even if I don't know what song it is, and I'm at a wedding or an event where it's not the person's event. So if it's not the bride or the groom or the event organizer, and they haven't asked for that song, it's most likely a no. Even if it's a good song, like it doesn't really matter. And I'd prefer that if I wasn't going to play it, then I wouldn't play it. Like for example, at a wedding, we were doing I think it was Balkan. I had no idea about any Balkan tunes. Anyway, these people came up to me. It was the groom's best mates. They were like, "Oh, can you play some Balkan music, blah, blah, blah." I was like, I have no idea what to play. I do have a playlist that he told me to pre-download, but I didn't know whether or not to play it there and then. So anyway, I said, go and get Paulie, which was the groom. Get him to come here. If he says, yeah, okay, then I'll play it. 15, 20 minutes later, he came up and was like, play it. Whoops. It was like, play it. And I was like, okay, sweet. I'll play it right now. Everyone was having a good time. But it's good that with DJs, they confirm with the event organizer. Because if we played it too early and then he was in the bathroom or he was having a deep conversation with one of his relatives and he missed out on that moment, he would get the shits.
Yeah, and the moment's gone forever, really.
Yeah. So
no, I agree with that. You have to be super careful.
Yeah. Especially
these events.
Yeah. But if the events organizer says, can you play this song? Whether or not it might be in Mandarin or in Taiwanese, I don't care. As long as you play the song, but the event organizer on the bride or groom told you to play it, then it's out of your control.
Yeah.
And they can't complain.
What I find a lot when DJs are starting out is that they try to people please a lot to the point where even the guests, where it's not their event, come up to them, like what you said, and they, can you play this? Can you play that? And they actually try to accommodate, whereas the best approach is, like what you did, is you go to the host of the event and you say, look, there's this request.
But you don't get them. You continue your job and say, hey, look, if you go and get the bride or the groom.
You don't leave the decks. And 100%. 100%. Okay, so you're DJing at the wedding. Everything's going really well. And some person comes up to you and goes, oh, my cousin's just got into DJing. Can he jump on the decks for 5 minutes?
Elbow to the face.
Straight hook, eh?
There's been numerous times that's actually happened. Can I hop on the decks? Like with the exception to the rule is if it's the bride and groom or the event organizer and they want to put the headphones on and take a photo and they're polite.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they're not wasted, sure. Like, fine. For the cousin playing music, hard no. It's a complete no.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as it comes with negotiation or how you interact with people, you don't say no. You just look at them and be like, I don't think that's a good idea, and they'll go, oh, okay, and then they usually just walk away.
Yeah, exactly right. But usually, people are pretty good, but it has happened.
Yeah. But you just got to stand your ground, and you got to remember as well, you are the DJ, you are the source of authority. You are controlling the room. You are controlling the atmosphere. Like think of yourself like either a doctor or a symphony organizer or a policeman. You are in control of the crowd, and you are in control of the music. Trust your subconscious and your conscious mind to just, go with it and trust the process. Don't be shy about, no, I'm taking it in this direction and this is where it's going to go. But all just comes with reps of knowing what to play when. But that's just all from, learning over the few years and screwing up and be like, okay, I learned from that lesson. But it just comes with over 10 plus 15 years of experience.
Yeah, because again, I think the new DJs, they feel bad. You know what I mean? But you have to get over that, I think. Yeah. You got to get over that for sure. So, question number 9.
Oh, God, how many left?
I'm a friend of the groom. Can you play the song off my phone? I have it right here. Can't you just plug the aux cord in, bro?
Yeah, that's happened many times. Can you plug the aux cord?
Bro, just plug it in.
I love how with the new Max, it doesn't take aux.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Or like you have the decks, the what's the Pioneer ones? The ones that don't take aux or whatever, the USB ones. Anyway, I bought the controller. And then I look at them and just go, where do you want me to plug it in? And they're like, oh yeah, true. Don't you have it on your USB? Nah, bro, I don't. Oh, this is unfortunate, isn't it? See ya.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Look, a lot of DJ decks have, even when they do have an aux cord in them, it's just, again, it comes back to the flow of the night. You're the one that's in charge, and you're not just gonna plug something in. Again, to do with the internet and the connection and all
like
that
I
stuff.
Said, if it's the bride or the groom and they were like, oh, can you please play this song? Sure, they're paying you. What if that makes them happy and they want to play that song at that time? Go for it. It might be their grandmother's song, and then I don't know, it's very important to them. Or an event organizer like, can you play this song at this specific time? But usually they give you notice. They tell you, oh, at this time or at this period, I have this song. Can you play it? And you already know that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be played. But if
you
it's
get a run
some
sheet,
random drunk uncle, it's like, play this song. It's a hard no, even if it's a good track. No thanks. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, I can't say I disagree with that. So, here's one for you. Our event or our wedding ends at midnight. Can you play till 2 a.m. for free?
For free, no. Free is a no thank you. Over time, it's best to be transparent beforehand. But if they come and ask you and they're drunk and they're like, "Oh, I want you to keep going," most of the time the venue doesn't let you go past midnight.
Yeah, when the event is at a venue, they're very strict.
But even if it's at a private house, after midnight, you're not really allowed to blast the music. So it has to be at a super, super low volume because the police can just come and shut you down. Imagine you just took a couple of grand extra for the few hours, then the police come, turn it down, and then you're like, oh, I have to turn it down. You have to manage expectations with the client and be like, oh, it's going to be at a lower volume. Is that okay with you? And then sometimes they're like, yeah. Or else they're like, no, don't worry about it. For free, no. I would just say to them, look, this is the rate for extra hours. It's up to you, though, whether we want to keep going. It's probably going to be at a lower volume.
Yeah.
Unless you're on an acreage, which you can do what the hell you want.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you said it, the importance of communicating beforehand so they know your overtime rates and they know sort of...
Or we had a client that said, oh, I want to go... This was as a residential house in the suburbs, and it was past midnight, and we're supposed to end at midnight. He's like, keep going. I was like, look, we need, we'll have a chat. So we went and had a chat. I'm like, it's going to be at a lower volume. It's going to be at like a 20% volume. Because it was during the week as well.
Yeah, true. And like you said, they can shut you down. And we're talking here, Sydney, Australia, for anyone listening who's not in the area.
Yeah.
That's the rules around here.
Yeah. So, I would just say it's going to be at a lower volume, but sure. But most of the time, everyone just kind of dissipates.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I don't know, do you find that the best has already happened most of the time before midnight?
Yeah.
Or before that point?
Yeah, definitely. Unless you're you're DJing for a hens or a bucks, then different game. They might be on something else.
Yeah. But then, it just depends, hey? It depends on the event.
Yeah.
So, Mr. DJ, can you just announce the 15-minute long slideshow, read out the bus departure times, and find the maid of honor's lost earring while you're mixing? Isn't this what I pay you for, bro?
I haven't had the full list, but I've had asked other things. Managing expectations. There you go. With announcements and stuff, I find that if you want standard announcements, which is like the bridal entry or an event announcement, yada yada yada, it's fine. But like pure emceeing, which is like all that jazz, I would hire a expert to do that. And asking them, do you require an MC, or is it just like basic announcements like this is the daughter and father dance, or whatever they want to do. But yeah, doing all those announcements and stuff. Personally, I don't feel comfortable doing emceeing at all. I'm way better at DJing and focus on my strengths, which is that. So if someone's asking me to do all that, I'll go, you didn't talk to me about this before, then it's a no.
Yeah, if they ask you on the spot. Yeah. But again, it's about pre-planning too and saying, look, I want an MC, like a dedicated MC, which talk to that a little bit, the difference between like a dedicated MC and just basic announcements, because you always do basic announcements, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, you've done it a lot of times. That wedding the Balkan one that you were talking about, we got asked pretty last minute to announce a couple of things.
Yeah, but it was just simple. It was like, this name, this name, this name, this name, this name, this name, bride and groom. Done. Okay, dinner is served. Like,
yeah, that's part of basic, the DJ
but not
job,
like emceeing like, oh, did you know the story of when they met and yada yada yada? It's like, no, that's like, you know, that's a profession. Like stand-up comedy. No one can just walk up on mic and control 50,000 or 20,000 people.
Yeah, right, and even a room of
50 or 100 people. Like, it takes skill and art and years of perfecting.
No, 100%. And you don't want your wedding DJ to be overwhelmed as well. Like he or she is focused on the mix, on what's coming next, on building the dance floor when it's that time of the night as well. And as soon as you start deviating away from the attention from what you hired the DJ to do, it just, it's sort of like jack of all trades, master of none. Correct. DJ's the master at that. Let him do that. Yeah. MC, if you want somebody to really tell a story and stuff, put the money down.
But like I said, it's like, imagine you're doing renovations in your house and you meet a guy. He's like, yeah, I'll do it cheap. I'll do the electricity and the carpentry and the construction and the concreting. You're like,
alarm bells.
Red flag. Why is this guy doing everything? It's like the same thing with DJ. He's emceeing his DJ. He does the lasers. He does the dry ice. He does photo booths. It's like, what is he, a magician?
How many arms does this dude have?
DJ Octopus on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like when I bring it back to the metaphor of a Michelin star or a hat restaurant, they specialize in one thing, specifically. He might be a seafood chef, or he might be a meat, specialize in meat, and that's what you get. Yeah, and it's going to be amazing because he knows and he's done the reps on that specific style.
Yeah, exactly right. So put the money down, dedicated MC, which we also provide, but it is a separate person,
and it's extra money.
Yeah, you got to have the budget. Yeah, you got to have the budget for that. So you really got to think about it. Now, Mr. DJ, right? The dance floor's empty because everyone's at the bar. Can you play bangers to bring them back for me, please?
Been there before. But like, okay, you say, can you bring them back with bangers or whatever? But like, you might have had them on the dance floor for 2 hours straight. They're exhausted and they're going to get a drink. And then they're going to come back. Because once they're on the dance floor, they have a bit of a dance floor session, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. Most of them, they might be in heels. They're wearing suits. They're sweating. They want to take a break. And that's why, like, as a DJ, you need to take them on a journey, which is like, go a bit high, and then we'll go a bit down a bit. And then we'll go high, and then we'll go down a bit. Because if you just go all the way high, they're going to be like, this is too much. Can you just...
And people get tired.
Yeah, you take them on a journey with what you're playing. To that drunk person yelling out, play some bangers. Just trust your instinct, trust your gut, what to play when and what you want to do. And that's it. Case closed, full stop.
I like it. I love it. You got to sometimes, put your foot down in a nice way and have the confidence in yourself to be like, you know what, they'll come back, but you just have to trust the process.
But even like, imagine you're doing house renovations and you have a tradie and, he's got 10 plus years of experience, he's done hundreds of projects. And then you go after him and go, oh, hey, mate, just letting you know, you should do it like this. He'll look at you and go, who's built all the houses? Me. Who's done all these projects? Me. Be quiet, sit down, and let me do my job.
Especially the good thing about the housing industry is hopefully the person asking him to do that isn't drunk on top.
Yeah. Exactly.
We get that. But anyway, that just about wraps up the episode for today. Thanks, Dan, so much for joining me. And if you're wondering which questions you should actually ask your wedding DJ, we have an article on our website with the top 50 questions to ask your wedding DJ. So go ahead and check that out. My name is Isaac, and thanks so much for joining me and Dan on the More Life Frequency podcast. Until next time, enjoy.